Hi, welcome to this next segment. This is a class focusing on hip mobility, all right? So this will be done all in a pretty much lying down position, supine position. So we'll do various poses in which we're opening more through the hips, getting that extension, keeping the pelvis, because we're using the floor and the mat, the pelvis is adjusted in such a way that your lower back is lengthening. Okay, some of these poses we do standing up, some of them we do at the wall, but here the focus will be on the mat in a supine position. Okay? All right, so I want you just to pay attention to the hips and the alignment of your hips, making that your first priority. Before we get started, if you want to learn the basics of Iyengar yoga, I've designed a new course, Foundational Iyengar Yoga. This course is for you if you're a beginner, if you've been practicing for a while and you just want to deepen your understanding, or if you're a teacher and you would like to be more inspired, go back to the basics. So it's a 6-week course, 18 different classes, and you'll be able to go through at your own pace. You can find more details in the description box below. All right, so first, coming down on the floor, you're going to come into Supta Tadasana. So here, adjust the pelvis, lift the hips, descend the tailbone, release the shoulders, and then extend the legs out. As if you were in Tadasana. The feet are moving away from you. You're broadening through the feet. You're lengthening through the heels. So if you feel that your lower back is lifted up and you need to adjust the pelvis again, adjust that. So the pubic bone is lifting up as you lengthen through the whole body. Okay, bring your toes together, your heels together, and then take hold of a block. So just get your block, and I'm going to have you use the block to extend through the arms and keep that broadness through the chest and the shoulders. So once you have your block, you can have the heel of the hand. This is a very heavy block, so the heel of the hand is below so it doesn't fall. And I'm pressing the fingers against one another, pressing into the arms, keeping that firmness. And as I bring the arms up and over, I'm extending through the legs. I'm descending the tailbone away. So you can take this block so that it's on the floor and use the hands pressing against it. So I've just lowered it. Depending on what your shoulder distance is, or your shoulder mobility is, you can take the block higher, you can take the block lower. If you can bring your hands all the way down, keeping your neck lengthened, then take the block. Now I'm pressing into the block, descending the thighs. From my heels, press down into the heels, and at the same time, I'm drawing the buttocks down. So find your tailbone, move the tailbone down towards your heels. Connect the inner heels, the big toe mounds. Draw the little toe side of the foot back towards you, and start to slide the block away. So you're using the arms to lengthen the whole side trunk. So you can feel your waist is becoming thinner as you move from the waist corners up through the fingertips. Just making sure that you don't create any compression in your arms, your shoulders, in your neck. Move the inner knees down, inner thighs down, and bring some compactness to the legs. So the outer thighs moving towards one another as they roll down. Keep the front ribs moving down. So sometimes the front ribs will get lifted. Lift the lower back, move the front ribs down, and then release the arms. Okay, so now we're going to come into Soupt of Rakshasana. So I'm sure you've practiced Virasana many times. Standing up. This is going to be Virasana in the supine position. So here, the pelvis, we can control what's happening with the pelvis. So when we're standing, we don't know if one hip is moving back, one hip is moving forward. So here, you're going to take the leg up, So this is my left leg. Take hold of the foot, and I'm going to bring the foot to the inner thigh. So just reaching down, so I have the foot, the heel moving to the inner thigh. Press the heel, press into the hip, toes are moving down. And then you're going to reach the arms over like you did before. Find that block and extend. Okay, here I've added a blanket to the outer hip. So the outer hip is up in the air. So by putting the blanket there, I can feel the outer thigh, and I can feel that outer layer of skin and muscle, and then I can press the leg down into that. So there's some support there, which will keep the pelvis level as well. Extend the arms. Keep that heel pressing strongly, as well as the outer standing leg. So that would be this leg. Keep the foot active, outer thigh moving toward that heel, and reach the arms up. Abdomen descending towards your lower back. Now, if for some reason it's difficult to keep the leg up, you can always take the foot in the strap and bring the strap in such a way that you're going to be able to hold it. And then, whether you need that support or not, you can take the support away. If you're holding onto the heel, press the heel in and lengthen. All right, and then come up, extend the leg up. Whether you had the strap or not, extend the arms over the head. And then take that leg down. Now you're going to do the other side. So bending the knee, adjust the pelvis, bring the foot up. Take the foot to the inner thigh. Press that heel strongly into that leg. So you're getting this external rotation, nice external rotation on this thigh. So this is turning, the buttock is moving under, hip is moving away, and you're getting this openness through the front groin. So like you did before, in case you needed that blanket, you can take that blanket for support. And as you press down into that, at the same time, feel that outer thigh lifting up away from the blanket. Even though it's releasing down, still there's an upward movement of the buttocks. And then take the hands over. Keep the knee of the left leg facing up toward the ceiling, and continue to exhale through the whole back of that leg. Extending through the Achilles, through the back of the ankle, draw the toes back, and reach the arms. Again, if you needed that strap, you would take that strap onto the foot and hold the foot. So oftentimes when we're standing, the hips move. The leg goes back, the knee goes back, say toward the wall, but then this hip is moving. So with this attention to the pelvis being level on the floor, the buttocks is not able to move back, nor is the hip. And from here, you can just work on lengthening the inner leg. You can even take your hand on the thigh and move the thigh down. And then release. Extend that leg up. Come back to Padangusthasana 1. Whether you have the strap or not, just extend the leg up and then bring the arms over. Still moving that thigh, rotating and moving the back buttocks away. So there's no rotation here. It's connected into the hip socket. So you're opening through the back of the hip. The back groin is opening. Keep both legs active. And then release. Okay, now we're going to come back to the first side. So start with your knees bent. Adjust your hips. Now you're going to externally rotate this leg. And then bring the shin bone towards you. Take hold of the shin and bring that leg in. So this leg is at a 90 degree. It's not like this. So be on the outer edge of the foot. So the ankle bones are parallel to one another. Bring that leg in, holding to the front of the shin bone. Bring the leg towards you. So this bent knee that I'm holding on the shin is moving toward me. I can continue to hold onto that leg, draw it toward me, and take the other hand and move that knee away so that this leg is getting that external rotation. So I'm right at the top of the upper thigh, right below the knee. Keep this foot relaxed, the bent knee, lifted leg, foot relaxed. And then begin to breathe into whatever sensation you feel. Stay with that breath. Stay with that extension through the back of the hip, the back groin. And then release. Come back to both feet on the floor. And then bring the leg up again. You're getting this external rotation on this hip, like we did in Virasana. So turning, bring the leg up. Take hold of the shin. And then begin to bring the leg towards you, any amount. You can walk down on the shin a little bit deeper toward the center. Bring the leg in. Just pause. Feel what you are experiencing and breathe into it. Let it lengthen a little bit. You can keep holding on to that leg. You can bring the other leg away. You're still giving the direction of the leg for that external rotation. And then continue bringing that leg towards you. And then release. Both feet on the floor again. This time you're going to bring the leg up, getting that external rotation. Take the calf and bring it toward the thigh. So this time you're going to close that space, like when we practice Padmasana. If you watched that class that I did, so there's that connection of the calf and the thigh, bringing the foot over, and then bring the foot onto the top of that thigh. Turning the foot. So now I'm on the whole side of the foot, and then I'll bring the leg up again, interlace the fingers, and bring that leg toward me. Walk the hand down to the middle of the shin. Keep the buttocks on the floor, so the lower back is on the floor. Release the abdomen down. And then you can straighten that leg. Take your strap again. Bring the foot up. So you can either stay in this position, or you can go a little bit deeper. Keep the hips on the floor and start to bring the leg over towards you any amount that you can. So you're extending the calf up toward the heel. You're moving this hip down. And this leg is moving in as you move this leg toward the chest, but you're still getting that external rotation. Bringing the leg in any amount. Broaden the back of the thigh. Moving the knee into the socket, opening the back of the knee. And then release. And then take both feet on the floor. Do the other side now. So getting that connection. You can even take the thigh muscle and move it away, or the calf muscle. You have two muscles on the calf. You can separate it, lengthen it, and spread it. Bring it in closer, so there's that connection. Then you're only turning from the hip socket. And as you turn from the hip socket, slide the foot down onto that front groin, releasing the knee away, the thigh away. If you're having any knee issues, any knee pain, then just be very cautious. If you're having pain, then you just ease back. So we have distinction of good and bad pain. So bringing your knee towards you, interlace the fingers, and bring that leg down. So if you're experiencing any knee pain, you have had some injury, then maybe you have to back up a bit. Knee pain is not something that you move into, you move away from it. So that's not a good pain to have. But if you know your body and you're recovering from something and you're just getting a nice stretch, then that's okay. Any sharp pain, then you come out. Bringing the knee closer. Moving that thigh away. And then lift the leg up, come back to that straight leg position. Taking the strap on the ball of the foot. Keep the hips down. So the strap's not required. If you can take hold of the foot, then you can take the foot. So depending on your practice and your flexibility, your capability. So drawing the knee into the knee socket, open the back of the knee, extend the calf toward the heel, but keep the hips moving down. And then release. Bend both knees, bringing the feet to the floor. Okay. Next, we're going to go into Supta Badakhanasana. So you'll have one block. You're going to elevate your hips, and your sacrum will be right on the front of that block. I have two blankets. Because we're lifting the hips up, your legs will be moving down with gravity. I'm going to have you bring some sort of support right at the hip socket, which will help to just allow your body to release further. So when you know you have some support there, something that you can feel the outer hips being supported, then the body gets the message that it can release a little bit further. So make sure the blanket or the support is high enough. This is a little low for me to feel it, so I'm folding it again so I can feel that contact of the outer thigh and the hip socket with the leg. Okay, so now I've adjusted it. Bring your feet in, bring the soles of the feet together, making sure that the lower back is lengthened. Lift up if you need to, move your tailbone down. Have that support of the blankets, press the feet together. And then bring the arms over the head, holding on to the elbows. Lengthen the side trunk. Press the soles of the feet together, and now lengthen the inner legs to the inner knee. So the whole inner side of the thigh, all the way to the knee, wrapping around the knee and drawing back to the outer hip. So a strong connection with the outer hip socket, the muscles around the hip. And as you press the feet, you can feel the buttocks. So the buttocks gets activated. So it's not a completely resting pose. You're active in this pose with that buttock, the gluteus, semi-active, not clenching, but there's an action there which helps to descend the lower back and also connect with the hips. And then extend the arms, change the cross on the arms. So here, we're getting a nice opening in the lower diaphragm, the lowest diaphragm, the middle diaphragm, and the higher diaphragm. So here, the breath is able to have full scope of that space within you. So just go to the breath, feeling that breath in the pelvis. And now here, you may want to take the blankets away, take the support away. If you didn't have any support, then you're still in that pose. Walk your arms down, roll the shoulders under, press into the feet, and now with the feet pressing against one another, press the arms down and lift the hips up. So you're activating the buttocks, tailbone is moving in, pressing down through the shoulders and the arms, pressing the hands down. Thighs, backs of the thighs, lifting up, hips lifting up. And now take that block away, come back, so you're on the floor. And now you're going to cross your legs in Sukhasana, take hold of the feet, draw the heels towards you, turn on the feet, so you're on the front of the foot like when you went into Ardha Baddha Padma. Turn the feet down and lengthen the legs. Bring your arms over, interlace your fingers, and press the hands away. As you press the hands away, lengthening the arms, lengthening the whole side trunk, lengthen through the legs. Create that extension, bringing the knees down toward the floor. Bring the arms back, change the cross on the fingers. Using the arms to connect with the whole upper trunk, the middle trunk, right up to the hips, so that your side waist is lengthening, it's becoming more narrow. Abdomen is moving toward the lower back, and at the same time, lengthening the knees and the thighs away from you. Knees moving down toward the floor. Bring your arms up, change the cross on the legs, take hold of the feet again, turning the feet under, drawing the feet towards your sitting bones, toward the buttocks, roll on the tops of the feet, and then come back to that first position with your fingertips. So index finger, to see which index finger is on top. Remember that for when we change. All right, lengthening the arms, lengthening the legs. So still, that movement that we could feel on the glutes, and the buttocks, the backs of the thighs, still you're engaging that to be able to open through the front thigh. So our muscles act in such a way that one is lengthening and one is contracting. So the backs of the thighs contracting from the buttocks through the back of the knee and the quadriceps, and the inner leg, the abductors, are lengthening. So be aware of what happens in the body so you can observe, bring your mind into that to create an intelligent action, safe action, and one that goes deeper, so that you're moving into the deeper layers within you. Quiet mind, soft breath, and then release. When we practice hip opening and mobility, there's a lot that gets stored through the abdominal area. So being the second brain, besides the calf being one of your brains. We have many brains in our body. As you open through the pelvic area, you may be able to release some tension, anything could come up, memories, whatever it may be. But for women especially, this area is got a lot of different attachments. This area can have a lot of baggage, so just allow yourself to breathe into it, release, and just let go of whatever comes up. All right? Okay, so in the last pose, in Supta Swastikasana, we were able to open that front groin. So now we're going to do a little bit more with that. I've got 2 blocks here, and I brought the blanket over the blocks. So that's on the higher height. You can also take the blocks lower, depending on how open you are in the quadriceps. I'll start with this height so you can see what I'm doing, and then you can adjust if you need to. For some of you, you may be able to just lie down on the floor. So I'm taking this height just as a way for you to see how you need to adjust. So you're coming first into Virasana. So again, you can lengthen the calves and separate the muscle in the center. Lift each knee so the shin lengthens, front of the ankle lengthen, and then you'll come down. Just come onto your forearms first, and here you can adjust the pelvis. So lengthening the top of the thighs, the top of the buttocks, and then coming onto the blocks. So the head's resting on that second block. The middle of the back is on that first block closer to the hips. All right. So from here, you're going to lengthen the arms, extend the arms, holding onto the elbows. You can bring the arms right onto the block, and then continue to if you're on this height, slightly lifting the buttocks, moving the buttocks down, and feel that action that comes through the back of the leg. So it's more of a contraction, drawing from the buttocks to the back of the knee, and here your quadriceps are lengthening. So this is the front of the pelvis, front of the hips, and then you're also activating the back. So staying in Supta Virasana. Come more onto bring the outer ankles in towards one another. So if your feet are rolling, your little toe side is lifting up, move the little toe side of the foot down. And then extend the arms. I'm going to have you come up now. So you can come up and you can have the opportunity to adjust that block. If you've been practicing this, then maybe you want to take the blocks down. If you haven't, then you can keep that higher height or even come down onto the floor. So you come down again, lengthening, bringing the thighs towards you, moving the knees toward the floor, extending the lower back, and then take the arms over the head again. Change the cross on the arms. So is this the tailbone? We're moving straight down toward the back of the knees and up toward the pelvis. So the tailbone has got a hook on it, right? It's like a tail, with a little curve at the bottom. So first it's lengthening and then moving up slightly. Bringing the thighs closer to one another as you can. Inner thighs moving down, broadening through the back. Front ribs moving down. And then you're going to come up, bring your hands onto your feet, lift up. You can take the hands on the floor and lift up. Lift the pelvis, adjust the pelvis. And then you're going to come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. You take your feet back, take this blanket away, and extend the backs of the knees. Come first onto the toes, onto the mounds, and keep the knees bent, lengthen the arms, and then extend the hips up. Press the hands down, lengthen the arms, press down into the mounds of the feet, and as you can, start to draw the kneecap in to the socket, opening the backs of the knees. The heels lifted up. And now start to roll over the mounds of the toes as you move the heels toward the back of your mat, not just straight down. If you just move straight down, your hips move down. So keep the backs of the hips lifting. Extend the heels. Keep lengthening. Calves moving down towards your heels. Backs of the thighs lifting up toward the sitting bones. Might take a few breaths to be able to get to what you usually do. You've been in Supta Virasana, so allow time for the knees and the backs of the thighs to lengthen. And then come down, forward Virasana. You can take the block for the head. Move your hips back, rest your forehead. And then come up. Sit on your block. Sit cross-legged, Sukhasana. Bring your hands onto your knees. Lift up, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your attention back to your breath. Following your inhalation, following your exhalation. Stay within the rhythm of the breath. Namaste. Okay, thank you for joining me. I think you're probably feeling pretty calm and relaxed right now. Hip opening mobility is a wonderful thing to be able to move the breath and you can feel how it has affected your mind. So practice this kind of mobility, hip opening whenever you can. It will help with all of your other asanas, especially your standing asana, giving focus to the levelness of the hips and the opening through the fronts and the backs of the legs, which are so important because we sit so much and we need to be able to undo some of the things that we do to ourselves, don't we? All right, so thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.